All right. So this was filmed before Halo was delayed. So during the filming of this, during the video, me and Bryan Watkins had no knowledge of that. We wanted to get this filmed because he was going to be out of town. So we wanted to have that content so we could put it out every weekend. So I kind of alters this video a little bit, but it's still pretty much what it is. This is our impressions of the gameplay that they did show, which is probably why they delayed it. So
All right. Welcome again, once again, episode 2, Halo Infinite. My name is Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And we are Bryan versus Bryan. One game, one name, two voices, two perspectives. Let's get right into it. Controversial topic, just shown by Xbox not too long ago. They had the 8-minute gameplay reveal. Halo Infinite. Before we get into Halo Infinite, I think it's important that we frame the conversation with our history of Halo. Halo came out when we were freshmen in high school. So this is a big part of our youth of I don't remember online gaming really before Halo. There was some of it, but it was
Maybe
pretty
PC, but not much.
it was pretty shitty. Halo was the one that was like, oh shit, dude, you have internet? Like, I didn't even, not many people I knew had internet in 2001. And if you did, it wasn't very good. So we were mostly doing LAN parties and shit, which was super awesome with Halo and Halo 2 and so on and so forth. So we have a nostalgia in our heart for Halo. Would that be correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, ever since Halo moved from Bungie to 343, not so much. Not a huge fan of Halo anymore. I think we both can agree we both love the Master Chief Collection, which is in the background right now on yours. That game is great. Came out kind of shitty, but 343, to their credit, has just updated the fuck out of it. I think that game is probably pushing 200 gigs now on Xbox with everything, which is really cool that, this game is old as hell and it's not even full price anymore. So they're not getting much money from it, but they're still cranking out these updates. And I think the Halo Master Chief Collection is an amazing game. If you don't have that, haven't tried that, go get it now, because now it is the best game it's ever been. And with that said, Halo Infinite. Okay, I don't know where we want to start on this. What were some of your thoughts going into the trailer, and what were some of your thoughts? I guess it's not a trailer, on the gameplay reveal.
Well, to piggyback off what you were saying with Halo, I remember, was I a freshman or a sophomore? Fuck, it doesn't matter. I was in high school, and I remember it was Christmas, and my grandma got my older brother, David, an Xbox with Halo. And I remember we fucking opened it up right there and threw it on the TV, and we played co-op. We were just fucking blown away. We'd never seen anything like the first-person shooter. That was kind of foreign to console gaming.
Yeah, first-person shooters were foreign to console, and Xbox was relatively new. I mean, of course it was new. It was the first Xbox.
Yeah, the first, yeah.
But Microsoft, we weren't sure it was going to work. I mean, PlayStation was killing it at that point.
Yeah, because it was PlayStation, Nintendo at that point. That was all there was.
PlayStation 2 was killing it. So, and the graphics of Halo, of most any Xbox game, just blew PS2 out of the water. Graphically, Xbox was, I don't think there's ever been that big of a gap between two consoles in the same generation. Xbox games, if it was made for Xbox, or even if it was a port, it just exponentially looked better.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And we were blown away with what we saw. We'd never seen anything like it. Especially the first time you jump on that second level of Halo, when you jump into Warhawk for the first time, it's kind of open world-esque, and you're just driving around. It was mind-blowing. And like you were saying, from that was just kind of like a campaign, in regards to campaign, but multiplayer was huge. I mean, your LAN parties, you go to your fucking friend's house, 4 controllers sit around the TV, or connect another Xbox down the hallway to another fucking TV where 4 more of your friends are playing.
No one had heard of that.
No one
That
had
was
heard of that.
that was a PC thing, but I wasn't into PC gaming back then. So that was all foreign to me. I knew that possibility existed with PCs, but yeah, having that on a game console, yeah, it was amazing.
And so, I mean, from there, Halo 2 comes out, Halo 3 comes out. I think just to put it out there, I think Halo 2 is my favorite.
That's the pause sign. Got a little freezing. Hold up. Wait a minute.
It's like I can hear you. Oh, there you go. So I think just to put it out there, I think
Halo 2.
Halo 2 is my favorite campaign, and I think Halo 3 is my favorite multiplayer. But so Sarah and I, my partner and I, she's not too much into games. She kind of dabbles in it, I guess, but she never played a Halo game. So we sat down, thought it'd be fun to do split screen campaign with her. And the first three Halos, playing them again, especially with her, was a fucking blast. It was so much fun to jump in, just to play it again, but also with her, and like getting to experience that game again through her eyes was great. And then we get to Halo 4, which I had never played before, and Halo 4 was very fucking rough. Like, even her as not really being a gamer, and she did not like it, I didn't like it. And it's worth saying that I have not played Halo 5, so I don't know where Infinite is in terms of a story. I don't know if this. Well, I'm getting kind of ahead of myself, but I just want to put it out there that I haven't played Halo 5, so take that as you will. But yeah, so like you were saying, 343 picked up the Halo franchise, Halo 4, because Bungie stepped away to create their own video game franchise, which is Destiny. So 343 is kind of, they passed the torch to 343 Industries. So they made Halo 4, they made Halo 5, and now they're revealing Halo Infinite for the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X, which leads us to the new gameplay trailer that we've all been fucking waiting for. And yeah, do you want to start or do you want me to?
Where to start? I mean, fuck, I hate to fucking just tear it a new one,
Yeah.
but we should have known. 343, they're great at putting out the Halo games you love, such as the Master Chief Collection, but it seems like they're not so great at putting out a new one.
Wait, did you hold on? You play Halo 5, right? I'm assuming you're not a fan. It seems like everyone hates that game.
I've played Halo 5. I haven't beat Halo 5, but I played a good portion of it. It's okay. It's better than 4. Better than 4. A lot of the Halo crew that we roll with, they're hardcore multiplayer Halo guys, and they've been doing it since the beginning. They really like Halo 5's multiplayer. I don't. I'm not a fan of like powers and sprints,
yeah,
and things in Halo, but they love it. So apparently that's kind of the holy grail. They all like 5. I don't know why.
Huh.
Not the campaign. They all like the multiplayer. But so, you hear me? We back? Good? Damn.
All right,
Good?
Yeah.
All right. So, 343. Yeah, we love Halo. And so we keep giving 343 a chance. Like, man, I wish they would just come out with a banger. That was just kill it. That's what we would love. But they keep disappointing us. It's just a gameplay reveal. I'm not super disappointed by this. So I don't want to be seeming like harping on them so hard. But
yeah,
from the trailer, game looks fun. Looks like it's
really fun, yeah.
Looks like it's pretty much old school Halo. That's what it looks like to me. They go back to the more Halo art style versus Halo 5 and 4, which got almost, I guess they're calling it a more realistic style. I thought it was a more stylized style, but I guess people are calling this one the more stylized style. But anyways, it's back to the older style graphics.
It's more colorful.
4 and 5. So there was a lot of things with the trailer. First of all, I noticed the gameplay looked really fun. Game looked like it was going to be good, but this is the Xbox Series X. Everything Microsoft talks about it, they mention it's the most powerful console ever. Most powerful console ever. And then you show us this gameplay trailer, which they kind of tried to backtrack on and say, hey, this is an old build. You know, it's become better. Well, show us the better one then.
Yeah, why do you? So I want to piggyback off what you said. So I agree. I think there are aspects of the trailer that looks fucking great. I actually went back and watched the trailer over and over again to prepare for this, and I do think that the facial animations of the what is he, just like a soldier? It was called a
Yeah,
soldier.
that guy in the
The
ship.
guy, he looks fucking great. His close-ups do. Anyways, but I want to piggyback on what you just said of like them backtracking and saying it's an earlier build. That's fucking bullshit. Like the game comes out in 4 months. You don't need to be showing an early build. Like I remember seeing God of War, the E3 trailer. We all fucking blew our minds. It was like, oh my god, God of War. That trailer was a year and I looked it up. It was a year and a half before that game even launched, and
Yep.
that fucking trailer blew our dicks off. So it's
Yep.
like this game's 4 months away. Don't be showing us an early build. This is the time for you to fucking shine and
Yeah.
show us what's the latest iteration of whatever it is you're working on. So that doesn't make sense to me why they would just plop an earlier build. And like I do want to get to some of the things that I like about it, but in terms of what like popping text, like all the texture popping in that trailer, I don't know if you call
Yeah.
it like grasses popping in and out.
Yeah.
You look at the
Real
background,
close.
the fucking
Real
mountains,
close.
yeah, real close. The mountains in the background are popping in and out, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
And what you said, God of War. I want to play devil's advocate, so it doesn't seem like we're purposely trying to fuck with this trailer. I think we both agree that we would have liked nothing more than to be blown away by this trailer and come away from like, oh my god, this is the must have. This is the killer app for Series X, but it didn't happen. Um, God of War, very, very linear, not an open world,
Hmm.
super linear. So you get that graphic fidelity right there. And I'm pretty sure it's 30 FPS, which
Yeah.
this is 60, native 4K, which God of War isn't, and open world. So I want to devil's advocate put that out there. I still don't think it's an excuse for how it looked,
Yeah.
because I've seen games that hit all those things on uh, on the current Xbox Scorpio. What the heck they call it? It's too many X's.
Uh,
The
One
One
X.
X, the
Yeah.
One X. I've seen games on that thing, open world 4K. I don't know if they're 60 FPS. They maybe, but they look really fucking good. They look super impressive, and this did not look super impressive.
Yeah.
So much pop in. Textures looked bland and not very high res. Digital Foundry has an amazing video. Go check that out. That kind of explains why this might be, because the lighting, all the other Halos had a pre-baked lighting where the lighting is here and it's programmed exactly what it's going to do. And this one, the light can move anywhere at once and will cast natural light on whatever it hits. And so if you notice in the trailer, the sun is setting and there's a lot of terrain in the way. So most of the gameplay is kind of in the shadow. So you're not fully seeing uh, these models the best they could, because in the Digital Foundry video they show some of that when it's in full light, like that they show the gun in full light versus when it was in the shadow, and in the shadow it looks like shit. It looks flat, drab. But then when you show it in full light, you see all the little cracks in the metal and the leather of the glove and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I think that's part of it, but that doesn't explain all the pop in.
Yeah.
And still, you knew the lighting looked like that. It's like, well, you hadn't played this game and saw that some project or the current Xbox games, One X games, like look better than this. You can't tell that. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Pretty rough. Pretty rough. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean it didn't look terrible, but this is fucking next gen
This is
we're
next.
looking at, you
Well,
know?
do you think it has something to do with the fact that, I mean, this goes back to your devil's advocate thing with God of War. God of War wasn't cross-gen, and this game is. So maybe there's some sort of development hell where they have to make two different kind of builds for two different consoles. You know what I mean? So maybe
Nope.
that has something to do with it.
Nope.
No.
I don't believe that at all. I think that's one of the weapons fanboys use against Xbox. I'm no fanboy. I got a PS4 Pro, Xbox One X. I plan on getting PS5 and a Project X. I just love having all the choices.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point in
And
my life.
your Nintendo Switch, which is a what
Yeah.
is it? Just a 7-year-old port. Hey, you remember the game you played 7 years ago? Well, guess what? It's coming to Switch. You can play it on your hand.
Yeah, buddy.
Fuck yeah! That's what Switch. All right. Anyways.
I didn't know I had so much Switch hate. Anyway, I like
No, I like my Switch. I'm just teasing.
I like Switch. Um, I love portables, and Switch is like the best portable ever made.
Oh yeah, for
I don't
sure.
even consider it a home console. You put it on the TV, it looks like shit, but that's another
Yeah.
debate. Um, but yeah, what were we just talking about?
Cross-gen.
Yes,
you're not allegiant to
yes, that's a tool they use that I've seen a lot of Sony fans. I don't know why that fanboyism has gotten so hardcore before this new gen.
It's pretty stupid.
Like because Sony has gotten this huge lead, like their fans are so vocal about hating the Xbox when
Yeah.
Xbox was beating Sony in the 360 gen. 360, like they had them beat. Like, dude, 360 was a way better machine than the PS3. Like,
I will
PS3,
say out the gate they did, but in the end, PS3 came back, which is crazy to me. But yeah,
I think they came back because by the end, PS3 had so many amazing sales.
mm,
Consoles were fucking cheap. Black Fridays and shit. I remember they were giving these things away. But if you had both and you want a cross-platform game, always looked better on 360 because PS3 was just hell to program for with the cell processor. But I had a PS3 at launch that I still have a launch one that plays PS1, 2, and 3. And I think that's like the best console ever released because they remember their roots and you got to play all three. If PS5 played 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, oh my God, I think this drop the mic could be fucking over.
yeah,
But they didn't do that. They're kind of mum on their backwards compatibility. But anyways, they use this tool. They say, no, you have to program for the Series X, the PC, and the One X. It's gonna make it look like shit on the low end because you got to program it to run on the low end versus the high end. I don't believe this at all because I have a PC and I PC game, and PC, would you say, consistently has the best version of games
yeah. I
if
think
they're
that's pretty universal. Yeah,
if they're on both. And you can run that PC game on a super shitty PC. They didn't build it for that shitty PC. They built it for the awesome one, and then it's scalable. You know, they have all those settings in the PC one, just like they have in the background when they're making a game at Xbox. They can bump the texture down. They can bump the resolution down. They can bump the foliage draw distance down. All these things to make it run. That's how a lot of games get running on Switch that are ports. Like The Witcher, that's no fucking business running on a Switch.
yeah,
Are you crazy? And it runs pretty well. I like it. I have it on Switch. But consistently, the best looking version of any game is on a PC, and it's able to run on a $2,000 PC, and it's able to run on a $500 PC. It doesn't look
yeah.
that great, but it runs on it. So I don't buy into that too much. I think that's not going to hold them back at all.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna bring up some stuff I like. Like I said, I haven't played 5, so I don't know if the soldier is in 5. From what I understand, he's not. I think he's a new character. But I do like this buddy plot they got going on. I think that's kind of fun with like Chief and this fucking random soldier going on little adventures. I think that's kind of cool. I like the emphasis on nature, which you haven't really seen in Halo, like all the birds chirping and the bunnies jumping in the grass. I don't know. It's just it's a nice world building that we haven't really seen in Halo before. And a big one that I'm on the fence on is this is the first one that's open world. And in the trailer, they open up the world map and you can set markers. What do you think about this one being open world?
I don't know how I feel about that. I think it could be pretty cool, but I don't know. I really like the linearity of a Halo game.
Yeah.
I like the story being like that, and I like the story progressing from point A to point B. I'm afraid it could turn into like a Metal Gear Solid 5 situation where it's open world, kind of to be open world, and then you're losing all the grandeur and all the story that you used to have when it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that could happen, and I'm worried there could be a lot of Metroid type backtracking. It's like, oh, Yodi went through that part of the world. Now you got to go back and get the fucking Allspark or whatever you got to do. You got to go through multiple times. So I'm worried about it. We'll see when it comes out. I'm hopeful it could be done in a cool way and bring something new. I just really hope it doesn't take away from the cinematic aspect of Halo, which has always been a big part of the campaigns.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hopeful, but I'm always concerned, or I'm always like irritated when a game is an open world, but then for whatever reason they make it an open world. It looks like why? But I'm hopeful because I do like seeing the trailer again reminds me of the first time I played Halo, like we were talking about earlier, where like the first time you dropped onto the Halo ring and it's open world, and you
Mm-hmm.
drive the Warhog for the first time, and you're traveling around all these areas. So like it does give me that nostalgia of exploring a map a little bit, but I am kind of like this wasn't open world to begin with, so I don't know. But we'll see. But one of the things I paused it on the when he opens up the menu or the map. There's an upgrades tab, so that's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I don't know if it's going to be weapon upgrades, if it's going to be armor upgrades. So that's kind of RPG-ish, which is interesting. I don't know how to feel about that, but I guess we'll see when they reveal more. But I didn't catch that the first time I saw the trailer. I'm like, what? There's upgrades? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, grappling hook. I'm a huge fucking fan of. I think every game should have a fucking grappling hook because they rule.
I wasn't sure you were serious when you said that.
Oh yeah, I fucking love grappling hooks. I love verticality. You know what I mean? Like I love
Yeah,
it.
I think that's why they had to do that because there's going to be so much land
Yeah,
traversing that
yeah.
you have to have some way to get up or unless you're going to have the Halo be flat, and that ain't going to happen. You can't drive a Warthog up a cliff.
Hmm.
So I heard there's going to be some climbing mechanics. You're going to have to maneuver up a mountain, kind of Skyrim-esque, and get up there to get to a point. But like you were saying, it looked like Halo watching it, even though it was open world. So if the open world is only really for traversal, like you're traversing from here, you got to get to that point, you set the marker, and then once you get to that marker, it's almost like a Halo level from an old Halo. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's a very clear thing to do. Break into this base, get this or kill this. It looks like that's what it could be. So that's why I'm thinking it might not hurt this game. It might be kind of fun to have something in between the fights, you know?
yeah. I think it's just a cool concept of like exploring the Halo ring. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, you get to point A to point B. When you get to point B, the cinematic starts, or like the linearity of the Halo starts. But between point A to point B, you can stop the Warhog, get out. Oh, what's that over there? I'm gonna go check that out. Oh, what's that over there? I think that's kind of cool. But like I said, we'll see when it fucking
Yeah.
comes out. Maybe it's a barren piece of shit.
You can go
Um,
hunting and get pelts for your upgrades.
you can go fishing.
Yeah.
Put his little feet in the water.
Yeah. Play horseshoe. There's all sorts of stuff.
Um, let's see. There was one little piece that I like, which people haven't talked about. Maybe it's not that big a deal, but I thought it was kind of cool. But they added these interesting animations where, like, there's a point where Chief's going up this ramp and these brutes fucking slam down from God knows where. and he sticks one with a grenade, blows up. The other one charges him. He shoots him in the fucking foot, and
Yeah,
he
that was cool.
stumbles. That was
awesome.
fucking cool. I haven't seen that before. And there's
And
another part,
armor was falling off the whole time too.
which I think is Craig. I think that's the Craig guy.
Yeah.
And
We'll get
then
to
later
Craig.
on, later on, when he goes up the elevator and he gets into more shenanigans, there's a part where he shoots somebody in the back, and the fucking guy holds his back and starts limping, and then he shoots him with a shotgun. I thought that was the cool little animations that you haven't really seen in Halo before to
Yeah.
add kind of life to the characters.
Totally.
So I like that. I like that when he went to the elevator and it gave the prompt push RB to do the lift. There wasn't like when in most games when you get that prompt they do that little animation where the hand goes up and the cool little look at the guy's hand. He pushes his hand up. Like in this game, you just push it and it goes up. Like they're not wasting my time with some stupid hand animation. I don't know, kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
I like that when he gets on top of the elevator, that fucking little what do you call him? Nothing. Yeah, the little grunt's flying, which I don't know why he's flying, but he has two grenades. He's like and he's like floating through the air and he's shooting in midair. I thought that was kind of fun. I don't know why he's flying or how he got up there, but it was cool.
I thought he was thrown or something.
Yeah,
Like catapulted or
yeah. So
yeah.
I thought that was kind of fun.
Kamikaze grunt.
It looks like there's
Wasn't there no shotgun? Did you hear about that?
there's a shotgun in the trailer.
Yeah, but I thought there was some controversy that's like not the normal shotgun. I didn't pay that much attention to it. Did you see anything about that? No.
No, I didn't see anything about that. I like. Looks like there's destructibles. Like he which I don't think I've seen before. So he's like shooting at barrels and explosions, and he also uses his grappling hook to like grab a fusion coil, and he fucking tosses it and then shoots it. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Add some depth to the gameplay a little bit. And I think that's it for all the things that I liked. And then I don't know if you want to talk about the ending with the awful looking 360 looking villain. I like the villain as a character, but he looked like shit.
Yeah, the god brute or whatever the fuck he's trying to be. Yeah, they did.
He looked rough.
They put him close.
Yes.
They put a camera on this motherfucker's face, and they're like, "Oh shit, this is our new villain." Almost like it reminded me of. Have you played Destiny?
No.
The bad guy from Destiny. He's like that. Just like a big menacing dude, but he looks dope as fuck. So the difference is, this guy, you put the camera up, he looks dope. He looks cool.
He looks
but
cool.
then, when you put the camera that close, I'm looking at not 360.
Not 360, yeah.
But
that's hyperbolic, yeah.
But Xbox One textures, at least. I'm like, really? Like, you thought this looked good enough to be the focal point of the ending and the boss?
And it's long, too. It's like a minute-long monologue.
Yeah.
It holds on that fucking shot for a really long time.
He did not look very good. Once again, maybe you can explain that was a very dark scene, and that was no lighting thrown on his face. But to me, that part looks like a cinematic.
Yeah.
Like, that's not gameplay.
It was definitely cinematic.
So why can't that just look like fucking movie quality CG at that point? You're pre-rendering it, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, the soldier in the beginning during the crash, he looks fucking awesome. His animations, I think, look great. So it's like, I don't understand why the grunt at the end looks like shit, but the soldier in the beginning looks great. I don't know. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, and Craig, this big Craig thing has happened. That the same brute you're talking about, where you shoot him in the knee, and he stumbles, and he comes over, and Master Chief gives him a beat down when he gets too close. People have freeze framed that beat down, and his helmet is falling off at that point, and he looks like this bald, sad man. It's just the facial expression, the texture work just looks so fucking bad. And I watched this in 4K, full 4K, because they're like, that was Xbox first response. Watch it in full 4K. You got me? You got me? Nothing? Nothing? You back?
There we go. Yeah, we're good.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, Craig, Looked like shit. I watched it in full K or full 4K because that was Xbox's first response, Microsoft's first response. They're like, well, watch it. The stream doesn't do it justice. Watch the full 4K presentation. I watched it. It looked better, but I was, me and Jesse were watching it on the bed, my wife, and I pause it when he's hitting down. I'm like, look at this. And she looks at him and she laughs. He looks ridiculous. And I was like, yeah, they've named this guy Craig. He's a fucking meme. He's going around everywhere. And, you know, but I like that Microsoft has somehow become the more player friendly of the two consoles. Like they're bringing backwards compatibility. They run with the Craig thing. They even had something on the Halo website where they're like, hey, everybody, just wanted to let you know Craig's doing fine. The fame's kind of gone to his head. We're working on the graphics. Like they've come out and they said, yeah, we agree with a lot of the stuff that said we're going to work hard and try and make it a lot better before it gets on store shelves.
You got 4 months. Good luck.
Yeah. But that's a new stance for Xbox. Xbox wasn't always like this. At the beginning of the Xbox One generation, where remember they're going to have all this DRM shit where you had to be online and your game wasn't going to work unless you had the connection and you couldn't let your friend borrow a disc because it was going to be kind of tied to you, almost like a PC thing like Steam.
That hurt them really bad too.
And that was terrible. I think they've become more consumer friendly than Sony, but Sony has such a big lead now and such a giant fan base that even the people that they could win over, I think, are just have their mind made up now. Which I don't care. Whatever. Xbox doesn't need to be the winner. They just need to both be great systems, and I'm gonna, enjoy them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Craig thing was hilarious. Looked like shit. Looks like shit in 4K. Better shit in 4K. It's funny that they ran with it, and I do like that they're responding to it. Like I said, 343 turned Master Chief Collection, which was a dumpster fire when it released, into the greatest way to play Halo. So maybe they don't get it out the gate with Infinite, but maybe within a couple months they turn it into what it should have been. Best case scenario, it is at launch. But
sorry, keep going.
Yeah, best case scenario, it is at launch, but I have faith that if it isn't, they can turn it around. So I think that's really good of them, but it doesn't excuse, having a game not be looking next gen on your flagship game, your flagship console at launch should be a fucking jaw dropper.
Yeah. Agreed. So I was looking at some articles, and granted, things could have changed since this was written, because I think this was written like probably the day after or within the week. So I'm going to read this to you. I want to know what you think. This is about the trailer. This is, I don't remember what that doesn't matter. This says, what's important to note is that Halo Infinite's visuals will likely improve over time. 343 Industries has made it clear that Halo Infinite is a platform for Halo moving forward, and that the studio currently has no plans to make Halo 7. This means that the game will receive regular updates, with plans already announced for ray tracing to be added at some point down the line for Xbox Series X version. It's interesting they call it a platform. It sounds like some fucking, what's the Ubisoft model, that bullshit?
It sounds to me like the Destiny model.
Yes. That's
like
what it sounds
Bungie.
like. Yeah.
So you have the game. I think Destiny 2 is free. I got Destiny 2 free on PC. By now it's free because all the other shit to get beyond the vanilla game costs money. But you can play the vanilla game for free because that's the base, and Halo Infinite's going to be the base. I don't know if it works out, if they can do some substantial DLC that feels like sequels or feels like more story rather than just DLCs. I'm okay with it, but I will definitely miss having a new Halo game.
Yeah.
But it's not like we usually get one Halo game per generation anyways. It's like we got Halo 3 360. We did get Reach, but that wasn't, you know, a mainline game, but that was a very good game. You got ODST, which is an offshoot. It was fun. Wasn't main Halo. And then the first Xbox, we did get Halo 1 and 2. 2 was very rushed, though, to make that happen. A lot of content. I heard it's like half of the game that they wanted it to be.
Damn.
And then for Xbox One, we only got 5. That's it. And
Halo
so
4? Oh, yeah, I guess Halo 4 was 360. That's right.
yeah, that was. Oh, I guess we did get Halo 4 on 360, but it was right at the end, and it was 343's first run, so I didn't really care, you know. So it's like to me, it wasn't a Halo game. I was like, no, I don't care about it. So we only got 5 for Xbox One. So I don't think it was a stretch of the imagination to think we were really going to get Halo 7 on the next Xbox, anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, maybe, but I doubt it would have happened anyways.
But it's interesting to think that, I mean, obviously, these are quotes now. Things will change in fucking 5-7 years. But it's interesting they're saying now that they have no, what was it? They have no plans of doing Halo
Yeah.
7? It's like, what?
Yeah.
So that's kind
Yeah.
of a bummer.
They're going crazy. They're making a lot of weird decisions, like making the multiplayer free.
Yeah, we got to talk about multiplayer because I have a big issue with that. I know you're not too concerned, but I'm pretty concerned about it. But
What concerns you, that it's free?
no, it's just like it's 4 months away. There's no beta from, like, again, I'm a new Xbox owner. I got mine in whatever the fuck it was, March.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that Halo 5's multiplayer reached the hands of people a year early so they can work out shit. And there's no beta yet. It's a little weird that Halo 5 had a beta a year out and this one doesn't. That's weird.
Yeah,
and it's
but-
troublesome.
But devil's advocate again, I think they're probably using the core of that multiplayer to make this. You know what I mean? Just switching it to the new engine, but you have all that pre-baked parts of 5 because 5 is loved in the multiplayer community. So if they're doing that, I understand they don't need as much beta because 5 was a huge brand new multiplayer that they needed a lot of time to test. So if they are using a component of that or a good portion of that, just slapping Infinite on top and the infinite weapons and the infinite maps on top, I think that could make sense. And I think also with COVID-19, all the teams being home, like no one's in the studio, everyone's at home. They all have it, and I've heard that they're playing it and that their friends and family are allowed to play it. So I know it's getting tested.
Yeah.
I don't know how big of a difference it's going to make to not have the big online test. I'm hoping it doesn't make a big impact, but like you said, it could. It's pretty unusual for a Halo
I'm
game.
hoping it's fucking awesome. It just seems weird. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like, I don't know. I was gonna say something. Fuck, I lost my chain of thought. But yeah, I'm very hopeful that it's gonna be, great. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just wish that this trailer that we watched was a year ago, and I wish that the beta was like 6 months ago, and then a couple weeks ago they showed a newer build of like, holy shit, that was way better than the fucking one with the soldier and the crash land and the Craig and the whatever the fuck. But fortunately, we're not there yet. We're not living in that in that timeline. But
yeah. Or if they would have said, hey, this is the game running on original Xbox One, and then would have made the pop-in and the graphics make more sense. But no, they said this is indicative of it was on a PC. They said this is on a PC running with roughly Project X specs. So that's the takeaway. I don't have much more to say on that. You got anything you got to add on the end?
I mean, the only thing I've written down is maybe delay it, but I don't think they can do that.
No.
I don't think they can risk launching their new console without Halo, especially since they're touting it as as
They
a
did.
launch game.
They did their last Xbox with that one. They're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
So I think the takeaway is we liked some. Graphics leave a lot to be desired, especially when you're factually on the most powerful console that's ever been built. And we still walk away from 343 Halo hoping for the best, but kind of preparing for the worst as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm excited. But I'm cautiously excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or cautiously optimistic.
I think they showed more to be excited about than to be disappointed about.
Yeah.
But it was close. I mean,
it's funny because when I was doing research for this, because again, for the fucking millionth time, just so you know, I haven't played Halo 5. If you didn't get that already, but I went and watched the E3 demo that they had, and not playing that game and watching that demo, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I didn't feel that with Infinite. I was very like, oh, that's cool, all right. So that's good. So
I mean, that's a testament, because most 343 stuff I see, I don't like immediately. And I didn't dislike this. I just disliked parts of it, you know, disliked graphical things or things that they're doing. But overall, I think we're both excited to try this game, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Which I think is a win for them.
Yeah.
They probably didn't want it to go over this way, but shit, it looks like it's going to be a better outing than 4 and 5. So that's good. You're not going backwards. So yeah, we'll wait and see. We're excited to play it. Halo Infinite, trying some new things. I really hope it works out. We'll see.
Yeah,
soon.
I'm excited for it to be in our hands so we can talk about it some more later on this year.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely do another video maybe after. We'll probably do a video like the first day it's out. We'll just get a couple hours in.
First impressions,
Get a couple hours in, and then maybe we'll do a full review after we can really beat the campaign and try some multiplayer and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. I think that's about it.
Cool.
So that is Bryan versus Bryan. One game. Halo Infinite gameplay demo. 2 perspectives. Yeah. We're cautiously optimistic, America. And we hope you are too. Let us know in the comments or do all that stuff, what you thought of the trailer. Please like and subscribe. Check out our videos. We hope to do this every week and just have a chat and maybe get some topics off the comments or something. We'll try and keep busy. Until next time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, later. Game on.
Bye.
Thank y'all.